Start us off, bro.
I want to start off. I want to start off by saying that one of our podcast members has released a short film. I'll have Jay put it in the link description down below. So if you guys want to watch it, you can watch it. It's like 2 minutes. It's not long,
Yeah.
but it's ultimately a very personal essay between. Well, it's Phil who made it. Spoiler.
In case you guys.
Reveal.
But yeah, it's basically about the relationship between a son and his father, and so yeah, I want to start off by saying it was a really good film.
Thank you.
It was really,
I found it very interesting as well. As soon as I saw it, it grabbed my attention. The story and the content behind the video is so much more than the length of the video.
Yeah.
I mean, those kinds of videos prove that you can say so much in such a short span of time. And I find that the quality of the work itself took time and thought, and it is a work to be appreciated. So I encourage everyone to go check it out and give him your love and support. And
Feels like, where's my Oscar? Where's my Oscar?
leave the comment and leave the comments down below. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
And I find it very.
The only one thing that really pissed me off about is when Jason, because in the end, Jason showed me the edit. I was like, oh, it's pretty good. And then the fucking title screen wasn't like centered. I was like, yo, nah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Nah, zero. It's trash.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. The last we fixed that, and I'm really glad we did.
When the title screen came up, I was like, oh, I like the font. It's not centered. Trash. Get out of here. But yeah,
I would have gotten like the camera a little bit steady on the video, but like other than that, like the content of the video is very, very interesting. And
it would be nice also to shoot in a real cinema camera to have it very clear.
Right, if you had higher grade stuff. I think part of what makes it like what it is, there's a lot of like documentary inspiration in how it's filmed and like the approach to the visuals.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was during quarantine that it was first filmed kind of like makes everything more personal, close, and like like
maybe it's like a vlog in
almost
a way.
like a vlog mixed with a
post. I was gonna wait till the camera just turns on you and be like, hey guys.
What's up, guys? What's up, Maverick fans? It's Logan Paul.
Chilling with the pops, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, what made you want to write? Well, what made you write this idea between the story between I'm guessing it's between you and your dad at first, but then ultimately became a more broader idea, if you will.
Yeah. So as you said, it's initially about me pondering on my relationship with my father. What does it mean to be someone's son and to look at someone and tell yourself, well, this person is my father. We are related by this concept of genetics or of fatherhood, if it's not genetics, but there's this idea. And we kind of see them as like a mirror for ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look at something that your family does and you tell yourself, oh, I think I've done that too. Or, oh, I think I see that in myself.
Mm-hmm.
You reflect things from your family, You're kind of like this mishmashed clone of them.
Wow.
So I thought that idea was interesting. So I wanted to reflect on that. So I wrote a poem about it. And then I made a film about it.
The poem was very good, by the way. It
you.
rhymed and it was real smooth. Like it was like playing the violin.
It's bars.
Playing straight
bars.
Spitting fire bars, bro.
But yeah, don't you think like the message itself is very much like a father looking at a son looking at his father and seeing a sort of role model or seeing it's like a sort of a pillar of what something good could be. But you think also like when you realize when you reflect on like say like your parents, for example, when you were younger, you look at them and be like, oh, they have all the answers, they'll solve anything, right? Now you're old enough to realize that that's completely not true. And actually you actually watch them grow as a person. You actually watch them as a toddler or a little baby and see them actually figure things out as they go along. So it's quite interesting to see.
Yeah,
like,
you see them figure out parenting, amongst other things. You see them figure out their lives, and it's I wanted the perspective in the film to definitely be from the son's perspective. You know, it's the son that's like projecting his questions onto the father, because there's really like an idealization of sorts.
Yeah.
But there's also like a questioning. It's a bit like, it's like throwing something at the mirror, hoping to get a reaction, a different reaction or something, you know.
How'd you approach your dad about this idea, and how did he, and how did he react, and what did he say when you brought up the idea?
Get out of here! I ain't about this. I'm no actor.
Get you to that. No, he was very cool with it. He I don't know if he knew like the whole way what it was gonna look like by the end. I went up to him and I told him, hey, can we take a walk? And I want to like record stuff, and I want to, just.
I knew you didn't give him the full picture at first. I knew it. Because
it would have been weird if like it was like, hey yo, just walk, and then low key just filming. Like, hey, what you doing, man? I was like, oh, nothing, man. Just nothing, you know what I'm saying? Just looking at scenery.
He knew I was filming. That's not a secret. But like, I didn't tell him that, okay, and at this point, this is going to be said, and then it's going to look like this. I just told him, hey, I'm going to record you while we take a walk, because we would take walks very often around this time. Sure. And that kind of inspired me to make it that as the visual,
it feels like the instruction as well. Like, the simpler the instruction, the better the outcome.
Yeah.
And I realized that as soon as you start filming stuff, even when it's like group projects, I feel like if the instruction is too complicated, people will try too hard, and it will show that try too hard.
I really, really wanted that natural feeling from the way he would just go about, I didn't want to tell him, okay, go from there to there. I knew what path we were going on, because I told them like, oh, can we go walk here and then here and then here? And then I told them like where to go in a sense, but I didn't tell them do it like this,
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't turn around and just look at the camera like awkwardly,
You'd be like, hey, what you doing, man? This
like,
is World Star.
Oh crap! I forgot you were recording.
Right. There's some really nasty shit. Like, yo, I hate this place so much. These people here are trash.
Like, fuck, shit, goddamn.
I considered having some keeping some of the stuff that we said during that walk in, because I did record sound, but I only kept one thing. I kept the sound of the river itself. I kept it in some background noises.
How did he react to the actual like final project, if you will?
He told me that it made him emotional the first time he watched it, and because he watched it before it was posted.
Yeah.
And he got emotional, and then he saw it again after it was posted, and he said he was trying to like see it from the father's perspective. That was reaction, because to him it was like he was the subject.
Was he happy? Was he what do you say was his first reaction when he saw like the final product? What would you say was his reaction?
Probably, I don't know if I can describe it as like a single emotion, but really trying to unravel everything about it. Like, he wanted to immediately understand if what I was saying in it had something directly to do with his life, or he wanted to see like what I was saying about him as a person through it.
It's called trash. You whack, fam.
Did he think the message was meant for him to understand in the beginning?
Yeah, I think he thought it was like me sending him a message.
I see.
But in a sense, I would say it's more about like myself sending myself a message through
Sure.
like throwing my own ideas on fatherhood, and so exposing them.
Yeah.
Which is what I saw as a description of your feelings towards fatherhood and actually like raising a son. Like I feel like this is the emotions, the sort of thought process behind it, and it's put together in a way that it could unravel like a story. And that's what I saw it as, and it's pretty good. I like the message behind it too. I'm very curious to see how far those kinds of ideas would go. Like, could you imagine if you would create a piece about your personal life and the events, the very significant events that happened to your life, to like very like big gaps, not to be like little gaps so it would be like too long and too complicated, but like major events in your life that would show in a very short clip the formation of your character through your life.
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds like a kind of piece that I would like to make. It's
like a Boyhood. Was it the movie Boyhood?
kind of like Boyhood.
Yeah, exactly. Like you go from like literally born day one to what you are now, but like those steps to explain the process would be big steps. So it won't be like from like 0 to 1, 0 to
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
major
0,
milestones
10,
of a life.
20. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
I find it would be very interesting to do.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, if anyone is offering their child as a case study whenever y'all get children, I'm gonna make a documentary about them.
Hey, Daryl has the most interesting ones.
But yeah, well, I was interested in the idea. Like, what made you want to call it Proteus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about that name.
Was it because of the lake? Was it because you wanted like the god of what was it, Poseidon?
So the thing about Proteus, it's actually a very, very personal thing too. Well, those who know me know I have a big love for mythology of all kinds.
Sure.
I'm very nerdy about that, but the real reason is because both my parents independently have done work that they've named Proteus.
Oh, really?
And so my father published a paper, a mathematical paper with the name Proteus for the project, and my mother as well. So that's a big coincidence. And the thing is, my mother's told me that it was named because like she wanted that name to be chosen because of my big love for mythology, and that got me like thinking about like, so in every side, so from my father to me, and then me influencing my mother, and like, you know, like,
yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah, so it's a set of like coincidences, but the thematic reason for Proteus is because Proteus is the god of rivers and change. Change is the real like kicker for me, where you know our whole life is change. And you know I talk about that in the poem, about us constantly shifting from one thing to another. We're constantly becoming something different. And yeah, to me that, along with the idea of the river as a physical representation of that, right?
Of things moving along.
Yeah. That's also why I wanted to film it there at a sunset. The whole thing was filmed during a sunset to kind of have this like dawn of an era type of look to it.
It's kind of like the end of one chapter and the beginning of another chapter.
Yeah.
Perfect location and perfect title too for the.
Yeah, well, thanks.
And also, it's convenient because dawn would be a stress. It'd be like, yeah, wake up at 7 o'clock just for a freaking little shoot.
Yeah, it's like early.
You got me waking up at 5. What's wrong with you?
I was gonna say like the sunset part really accentuates the vibe and and like the feel, the energy of the video. Like I could feel like a mellow to it just because like the sunset, you can see like everything is calm.
Yeah, you see the shine of it on. Also, one thing I thought was very cool, which ended up really coming into play for one shot where the sun rays were reflecting on his silver grayish coat, which kind of permeates on him while he's in one of the last shots while he's walking. And I thought that had a very interesting look to it. So it ended up really looking the way I wanted it to.
Okay.
So in that sense, everything went well. So yeah, like there's a lot of reasons. Proteus is really like a word and a representation of many things that seem to coincide with this project being made. So
it made sense for it to be
in every direction it makes sense to me.